So I've been out in the yard today and I harvested a whole basket of purple dead nettle. So I am getting ready to make some tea and I was going to show you guys what I'm doing. Okay, well this kind of sucks for me because I recorded all of this in slow-mo, so I had to speed it up and do a voiceover to it. So I am going to be making 4 cups of tea on my stove. So I've got my Houston's mineral water in there. And as a general rule, you'll use like 1 to 2 teaspoons of the dried herb, and the fresh herb about, a tablespoon. So I'm taking 2 flowers. These are pretty good sized flowers, which are about equivalent to a tablespoon. I bring a little spoon here and kind of show that. So I am going to break it up and get the oils kind of flowing there and get it in the pot. And so I'm going to use probably like 8 to 12 flowers in here. Some of them were a little smaller, so I was using 3 instead of 2. So 8 to 12, just use 2 to 3 per cup. See, these were a little bit smaller, so I added another one to it to add what I felt like was a tablespoon. And so I'm going to get these broke up in here and I'm going to bring it to a very low boil simmer. I put my stove on like right at 4 and I will let it simmer there for a minute or 2 and I'll see my oils on the top of the water and then I'll back it down to low and let it simmer and cool off for about 20 minutes. And so I'm making enough. I like doing it on the stove because I'm making myself a cup, my husband a cup, and then I can put a cup into the refrigerator tomorrow as well. Stirring it up here. And I don't know what I'm doing or talking about. So we'll just look at it, let this play out. Okay, so what I have done with the rest of the nettle, I've got a screen here, so I've spread some out on here to dry and in a basket, and then I've left some in a basket over there, and I'm just kind of going to come in here and fluff it and rotate it until it dries out. I just don't feel like doing the whole dehydrator thing, so that's just how I'm going to let it dehydrate. Okay, so I've got it at a very low simmer. Let it simmer for a minute or 2 and you can start to see the oils on the top of the water. So I've actually been doing this. I'm going to turn it down, back down to low, let it simmer down, cool off, strain it, and add some honey. Okay, so while this is cooling off the rest of the way, purple dead nettle has antibacterial and antifungal properties. Like if you had, some athlete's foot, you were having a hard time getting cleared up, you could do this. Like make a tea and soak your feet, your foot, whatever, soak it in it, for several times a week and see if that doesn't get it cleared up for you. You could also use it as like in a throat spray. Maybe mix it with some honey while it's warm and use it. If you got a sore throat, use it, spray your throat several times a day. I use this for my seasonal allergies because I used to, guys, I was taking prednisone, Singulair, Zyrtec, Flonase, Mucinex, prednisone at times, and even the Solumedrol shots. And this has been part of the regimen that's gotten me off of that. I also use goldenrod. Love goldenrod. 2 of them together is freaking magic, I'm telling you. I'm going to strain a cup of it here. And when my husband gets out, we'll fix him a cup. I've got some honey. I'm going to put in it. Honey helps with seasonal allergies too. So what else were we talking about? Oh, my mom. When my mother was fighting cancer, she had low iron. Her hemoglobin levels were off. And we were able to get her back up some with her drinking. I made her drink some purple dead nettle tea because it's high in iron. So it's an anti-inflammatory, so I'm hoping, you know, it'll help my back not be sore from working so much in the yard today too. If you have a fever, a cup of it could help regulate your temperature. Cheers. Trying to figure out which way the camera is. And it tastes like earth. It tastes like sweet earth is what it tastes like to me, you know. So even if you didn't really have, you know, any ailments that you were working with, I mean, this is good to get a couple of cups of tea into you at the spring. It's like spring, it can help cleanse you out. It's like up and out, you know. So these are springing up and out, and they've got nutrients from the earth. And you make you a couple of teas, get you a good dose of minerals and vitamins from the earth, increase your urine output a little bit, and kind of just help detox off that sludge that, you know, and all the junk we've eaten through winter. Spring is here, so get it all cleaned out. So let's talk about how good purple dead nettle tea is for us. So in purple dead nettle, we have a compound called anthocyanins. And what these compounds do is give purple foods their color. We can also find these in purple cabbage, elderberries, blueberries, purple peppers. Now, according to the Cleveland Clinic, these compounds can help reduce our blood pressure and reduce risk of heart disease. They can help prevent neurological diseases. One study found that a daily dose of cherry juice improved speech and memory in people aged 70 and over with mild or moderate dementia. And they can also help us prevent cancer. Anthocyanins may act in many ways to slow or stop cancer. Studies suggest that anthocyanins might block the changes in the DNA that causes cancer, destroy cancer cells, or stop their growth, prevent tumors from becoming malignant, and reverse drug resistance and increase tumor sensitivity to chemotherapy. So just overall, they're good for our health. And it's like, this is where we run into problems in our society, because instead of drinking nettle and elderberry and goldenrod teas, we're drinking Coke and Starbucks and Mountain Dew. Drink your herbal teas.